Welcome back to the deep dive. This is the show where we try to cut through all that noise. There's just so much information out there, right? Articles, reviews, opinions, it's overwhelming. Our goal here is simple. Take that pile of info and boil it down to what you actually need to know. Clear insights save you time. So today, we're doing a really crucial deep dive. We're looking closely at an online trading platform called Liquid Brokers. We've got this YouTube review from Premium Reviews. It's given us a lot to chew on, some really fascinating, maybe even concerning details. Now look, on the surface, Liquid Brokers looks pretty solid. It ticks some boxes. But like always in finance, the real picture is usually a bit more complicated. There's nuance.
And that's exactly it. Doing your homework isn't just, well, advisable. It's absolutely essential, especially when it's your money on the line. What a company says it does, how it markets itself, that's only part one. Part two, the really vital part, is finding out what actual users are experiencing day to day. You got to look past the marketing gloss.
Okay, let's unpack this then. For anyone listening, maybe who hasn't heard of them, what exactly is Liquid Brokers? How do they sort of position themselves?
Right, so Liquid Brokers is, at its core, a Forex trading platform. Forex meaning foreign exchange. So you're trading currencies, but also things like commodities, gold, oil, that kind of thing, other financial instruments too. They seem to be aiming pretty broadly. They say it's for both newcomers and experienced traders. And their main pitch, according to this review, is offering competitive spreads and execution.
Competitive spreads. Okay, that's always a big selling point, isn't it? Lower costs.
Exactly. Lower spreads mean potentially higher profits or lower losses. It's a key factor traders look at. So yeah, they're trying to hit those appealing notes.
Right, makes sense. And the review, it also mentioned some pretty solid-sounding technical stuff, security features.
Yes, it did. Things like advanced encryption, which is obviously important for protecting your data, and two-factor authentication 2FA. That adds another layer of security to your login.
Standard stuff these days, or should be.
Hopefully, yes. And they also mentioned a wide range of trading instruments, so lots of choice for users. But here's a big one. It's regulated in Australia.
Ah, okay.
And the review specifically notes that this provides some regulatory oversight, which is important when you're dealing with your money.
Yeah, hearing regulated in Australia, that definitely sounds reassuring, doesn't it? Gives you a bit of confidence.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how these elements are meant to build trust right from the start. Think about encryption and 2FA. These aren't just buzzwords. They're fundamental security measures.
Right, protecting your account, your info.
Precisely. Encryption keeps your data safe from hackers. 2FA stops someone getting in, even if they somehow guess your password. It shows they're, well, seemingly taking security seriously.
Okay.
And then you add the Australian regulation on top of that. That's not trivial. Australia's got a pretty respected financial regulatory system. It suggests, oversight, rules, maybe some consumer protection.
So it implies they have to follow certain standards.
Theoretically, yes. Strict operational guidelines, enough capital, ways to handle complaints. For someone looking for a platform, especially if they're new or maybe a bit nervous, seeing Australian regulated plus good security features, it paints a very positive initial picture.
Yeah, secure, legitimate, trustworthy. You'd think, okay, this looks like a safe bet.
Exactly. You'd feel your money is in a system that's, well, properly supervised.
Right. And honestly, if we just stop there, Liquid Brokers sounds fine. Maybe even pretty good. I could easily see myself thinking, okay, regulated, 2FA, looks good, and maybe not digging much deeper. But, and this is a big but, this is where that Premium Reviews video just flipped the script entirely. It brought up something that, well, it casts a very different light on things.
Okay.
Despite the regulation, despite the security features, the review found a massive red flag. It says, and I'm quoting here, recent reviews show that the majority of reviews about company Liquid Brokers are negative, significantly undermining trust.
Wow, okay. The majority negative.
Yeah. Not just a few complaints here and there. The majority. That's pretty alarming.
That is a huge disconnect from the features and regulation part.
Totally. And the review didn't mince words. It went on to say very clearly, collaboration with the company is not recommended.
So a direct warning.
A direct warning. And it stressed that these negative reviews, they highlight real issues and risks that potential users should seriously consider. It just forces you to ask, okay, what's really going on behind the scenes? What are people actually experiencing?
It really does raise that critical question, doesn't it? How can you have, on one hand, what looks like a solid setup, security regulation, decent features, and on the other hand, this overwhelming wave of negative user feedback. It feels like a paradox.
It does.
You see, the official stuff, the regulation, the features list, that's kind of the baseline. It's the on-paper promise, but the user reviews, that's the reality check. That's the actual lived experience.
So it speaks more to the day-to-day operation.
Exactly. It tells you about the practical stuff.
Yeah.
Does it actually work smoothly? Is the support helpful? Can you get your money out easily? Because let's face it, people usually don't leave negative reviews because the encryption wasn't up to scratch.
No, you're right. It's usually about more tangible problems.
Precisely. When you see widespread negativity despite good stated features, you often start suspecting operational issues. Things like serious problems with withdrawing funds, delays, maybe even flat-out refusals. That's a killer for trust.
Oh, absolutely.
Or maybe the customer support is just non-existent or useless when you have a real problem, like a trade going wrong. Perhaps there are hidden fees popping up, or the platform itself is buggy, or those competitive spreads aren't so competitive when you actually trade.
So the shiny exterior hides a potentially problematic engine room.
That's a good way to put it.
Mm.
It suggests that maybe the regulation ensures they exist legally, but doesn't guarantee they operate well, or even ethically, day to day. Users expect basic things: access to their money, fair trading, help when needed. If those weren't met, repeatedly.
Then the trust just evaporates. Doesn't matter how good the security sounds.
Exactly. That's why user feedback, that collective voice, is such a powerful layer of due diligence. It's the difference between the promise and the reality.
It's a really sobering point. Regulation is a start, not the whole story. So bringing this all together, what's the takeaway for our listener thinking about liquid brokers, or any platform really? The premium review source kind of summed it up, didn't it? It highlighted that core tension we've been talking about.
Yes, it basically said, look, while liquid brokers has regulatory backing and standard trading features, that's one side of the coin. The other side is that the overwhelmingly negative user feedback is concerning. It's a stark warning that the good points are seriously overshadowed by user experience.
So read the label, but definitely listen to the people who've actually used the product.
Absolutely. And connecting this to the bigger picture, beyond just this one broker, the review gives some very practical advice. It points out quite simply that there are many established Forex brokers with better track records.
Meaning, why take the risk if you don't have to?
Pretty much. In a market with so many options, why choose one with significant red flags when there are others with long histories of positive feedback? It reduces your risk. The review reinforces this by saying, unless you have a specific reason to use this platform, you're probably better off with more established brokers that have consistently positive user experiences.
Prioritize track record and user reputation.
Yes, it's about looking for sustained reliability, proven over time by actual users. That peace of mind, knowing thousands of others have had consistently good experiences, that's incredibly valuable when your capital's involved. It's about balancing the shiny features against the documented risks. Why be the test case?
Makes perfect sense. So the core learning from this deep dive, it seems, is really about looking beyond the marketing, beyond even the regulatory badge. Those things matter, sure, they're a starting point, but you absolutely have to listen to the real-world experiences of other users, especially when it involves your money. Their collective voice often tells the most important part of the story. Don't just check the boxes. Check the user sentiment.
Well said. And that really leaves us and you, the listener, with something important to think about, doesn't it? In today's world, with information everywhere, how do you personally balance things? How do you weigh that perceived safety from regulation and fancy features against the sometimes messy but often very revealing voice of the crowd, the actual users?
Yeah.
What makes a platform truly trustworthy for you? That's the crucial question everyone needs to grapple with when making these kinds of financial decisions.